Hi there everybody, I'm James Chester, a second year PhD student at the University of Manchester, and I'm here to talk to you about my work on discretising continuous morphological character data. So morphological character data is something that pretty much all of us will have used before. It provides the basis for most paleontological study, where we take a fossil, we quantify the data, and then we use that to produce a morphological matrix, where we have species and we define specific characters. Now, ultimately, all morphological information is originally continuous, despite the fact that we will often include discrete characters in there. And that is often because how to codify continuous measurements, say for example, the fact that there are 6 segments to a certain animal, rather than actually the length of that specific character is hidden to us, so we use discrete values instead. And discrete data has often been described as a disjunctive version, a poor version of that original continuous data. We just struggle to actually incorporate it. Well, the ways we try to incorporate it are twofold. We use quantitative methods, where we take a range of character values and we bin them according to a certain criteria, and there are also more qualitative methods, where we, for example, define something as long or short or absent or present, and we code according to that. But what effect is this process having on phylogenetics? Is discrete data a poor form of continuous data? Well, it's not clear, and we are aiming to advise on how to discretize continuous data with our methods here. We took 3 studies with clades across the tree of life, scorpion, grasses and mammals, that all contain continuous character data. We discretized those according to maximum gap discretization, and we calculated the homoplasy in the characters, comparing it to an independent molecular topology. So how does the discretization work then? Well, here's an example from the first character of the first data set, the total length of the scorpion. We take all the character values, we rank them. So this would be the shortest scorpion, this would be the longest scorpion, and then we look for the biggest gaps in between those specific character values, and we code around them. So for level 1 of discretization here, we code around the biggest gap. Level 2, we code around the second biggest gap. Level 3, the third biggest gap, and so on, up to 9 levels of discretization, because we wanted to see whether actually using different levels of discretization actually improved the situation. Also important to note that these are ordered character transformations, as the actual rank of the character is always conserved in the discretization. So, what did our results show us then? Well, here they are overall, but we'll just look at one data set to make things a little bit clearer. And if you're looking along the bottom here, there's the discretization level, raw meaning the continuous data, and then up on the y-axis, the way to interpret this is that characters at the top there will be consistent with the molecular tree, or higher up they'll be more consistent, and further down they will be more inconsistent or less consistent with the molecular tree. So we can see here that characters with higher levels of discretization, particularly past level 3, so 4 and above, show more consistency with the independent molecular topology. The median scores are higher. Furthermore, the variability in score there is smaller. There's much variance, there's some really good characters, some really bad characters in these low levels, whereas once you go from 4 to 9, those characters are much more consistent. Furthermore, the raw continuous characters show the least variability. Secondly, how does the coverage of parsimony informative characters work at these different levels? Well, levels 1 and 2 are the only levels where you don't get 100% informative characters. You can see in all the other datasets from level 3 onwards, they are 100% informative. But this makes sense. It goes hand in hand with that result that we just looked at, because characters at these higher levels, they're more consistent. So what do these results lead us to say to phylogeneticists using morphological data? Well, collect raw continuous data and use it if you can, because discretized versions of this data produce morphological characters that are more homoplagious, that will obfuscate the real results that should come from your data. And secondly, when discretization is mandatory, as it often is in certain pieces of software, use a minimum of 4 levels, i.e. use at least 5 character states when you are discretizing those continuous variables. Thank you so much for your time. I really look forward to answering any questions that you may have on Discord. Bye.